question on a slightly different topic. I edit the Medfield newspaper, and a big issue in Metro West is the expansion of commuter rail. So I'm wondering, I'd like to hear your thoughts on expansion of commuter rail, particularly in the Metro West area. And also, I know the commuter rail contract is up, and so what does that situation look like going forward?
On the contract?
Well, both.
Yeah, we're in the process of putting together a procurement for the next commuter rail contract. We're taking a look at what we think would be best for our riders and would be best for the MBTA and would be affordable. We're thinking of perhaps a longer-term contract that would give the opportunity to whoever is the service provider to invest their own capital to improve the customer's experience. Right now, the contract pretty much spells out what they have to do. So many feet of track, so many grade crossings. I don't know that we want that. We might want the contractor to make that determination themselves. If they think it could be invested better and improve the customer's experience, then we should give them the opportunity to do that. So we are in the process of looking at how best to structure the next contract for commuter rail. That will evolve over the next several months, and we're having a discussion with our Board of Directors Finance Committee to determine how that procurement would, or how that contract would be structured. As it relates to expansion, I mean, we still are committed to expanding the service to Worcester, but from a new rail line, etc. Let's take South Coast Rail, for instance. The administration is committed to South Coast Rail, but the Commonwealth has the obligation to fund that. So that would not increase the debt burden of the MBTA for building that particular extension.
You raise a good point there, which is the T has a problem that every company in America would love to have, which is our customers want more of us. The problem is we can't deliver because of the funding situation. So I have not heard from anybody. I don't think John certainly in the last 2 years cut the service or cut this back. People either want more service or expanded service. I think over the long term it's something we would look at, but in the short term, given the T's cost structure and then given even the administration from the DOT side, we have a commitment to South Coast Rail and we have a commitment to Green Line extension. And those are significant capital commitments, capital costs. I unfortunately step out.
We have to wrap up. While the subject of commuter rail is up, I wanted to ask you, actually, I'm from the Walpole paper, which is also concerned with commuter rail expansion, and today there was actually an amendment passed in the Senate to prohibit MTBA from expanding capital projects that operate under a deficit as a way to prevent, like, say, commuter rail service via Walpole to Foxborough. So I just want to know what you think of that idea, and if that's already something you plan on, not doing to expand things that operate under deficit, or it's detrimental.
Well, as the Secretary said, any expansion project, be it South Coast Rail or the Green Line, is from a construction standpoint is not an obligation of the MBTA. It's an obligation of the state. And the state, as the Secretary said, is committed to doing the Green Line expansion because, one, it is a legal commitment, but it's also a good transit project. And the Secretary and the Governor are committed to doing South Coast Rail. Those both would be funded by the Commonwealth.
Right, so then is this idea redundant, I guess?
Which idea?
To prohibit you from expanding while under fiscal deficit?
Yeah, I can't comment on specific legislation. I'm not sure I've even looked at it. But again, the Secretary and the Administration are committed to the Green Line extension and also South Coast Rail. And it will not add to the debt burden that the MBTA currently carries because it would be funded in full by the Commonwealth in our money that's available from the Federal Transit Administration.
The two scenarios, I was wondering how many jobs would be lost in those two?
Yeah, no, that's an important point. I think transportation and transit is jobs, not only in the people that we employ to run the service, but also we're a major construction company at the same time, because we have a lot of plans in place to make our stations accessible, modernize our track signal system and power substations. But if you look at the Central Transportation Planning staff, under the most severe reduction in services, it would be 525 jobs that would be lost within the MBTA. Again, that's unfortunate, as well as the ridership loss that would come along with any type of service reduction. But again, we're faced with that stark reality of needing to close the deficit.
Was that under scenario 2?
That's correct.
Do you know what the one for scenario 1 would be?
It's 200 something, I don't know the exact number.
Okay.
It's certainly in the CTPS report.
Okay.
I think it's around 200, and then it's 525 for the scenario 2.
We can take one more question.
You mentioned that a lot of people come up to you and ask, I don't mind having fare rates more. If you shifted all, instead of having, what would the fares look like if there were numbers?
That's a good question. We'd have to raise fares 60% in order to cover the whole 161 million. That is not currently contemplated because it would be so significant that one would have to think about the significant ridership loss and whether or not you would be able to recover the 161 million. But if you did it solely on fares, it would be a 60% fare increase.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate your interest in the public transportation and the MBTA. Thank you.
And if anybody